audio check and make sure people can actually hear us?
Well, I have it on my phone.
Cool. So started. So let's wait till refresh. Just see if we can hear us because we're on webcam audio. So perhaps presenting we will stand closer to your.
Oh, yep, we're here.
Turn your volume on your phone up.
What platform are you after?
This one?
How will I know if I'm hearing it in the room or my phone?
It'll be clearly different.
Wait a second. Say something.
Yeah, see, it didn't even load. There's an error loading your app. What does that mean? The app did not load. What app are you talking about? Seems like it's not working.
I think it's working. Let's just start.
All right, I'm going to do an intro to space.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome everybody. I see a lot of new faces. Who is this first time here? Wow, that is awesome. It's good. We've been trying to get a more wide range of meetups today, so this is our first blockchain gaming meetup. Well, this will be probably done once a month. We'll probably tackle a different game. So this is the Decontrol Community Commons, formerly Decentral. We were founded in 2014 as a kind of place for people to come nerd out about Bitcoin. Over time, people started thinking blockchain was useful for other things. So other projects came around, so we discussed those too. We probably have the highest concentration of Bitcoin maximalists in the city in this room, or in this space, so that may be why I'm a bit biased. But yeah, we've been around since 2014. We host weekly to monthly educational stuff, intro to Bitcoin, intro to decentralization. No one's doing intro to Ethereum right now, and then we try and mix in the more interesting ones. And lately, I'll tell you that because of the whole market situation, in November, we had like nonstop hack hacks. Like intro to Bitcoin. It was just a standard. And then nowadays, like intro to cryptocurrency, the other day had 2 people show up. So the guy running it just gets to have like a good conversation and teach people whatever they need to know. But the reality is, just 2 people versus like when the bubble's going up. So it's really good to see like this many people and this many new faces for a meetup. Yeah. This is me and my friend Andrew Wagner here. We met through not this space; it wasn't around at the time. So we did meet through Vancouver Bitcoin community. Yeah, just nerded out since. So yeah, we have a lot of meetups here. You can check our meetup calendar. Decontrol. I think just Decontrol or Decontrol Van. If you want to put your name on the board, you will be invited into the Slack group, which is has like 800 people, but a couple hundred actives. I'll give a tour after about a little bit of the space and history, more detail. But yeah, we're just basically a blockchain melding pot, kind of open access. We do a membership thing where you get 24-hour access. After we get to know you a little bit, because hippie problems last couple days. Yeah. Well, let's just say you can't just become a member today, but like if you're like into the space and like kind of being around like a lot of the companies that were like founded in the city, that people either met here or came through here or were constant contributors, just people who come to all the meetups. And yeah, so that's Decontrol, and we rock. Here's $3, but I don't think there is any. So
Yeah, sorry we forgot to stock the Bitcoin beer machine.
it takes lightning.
Recent incident, we were all normally there would be Bitcoin beer.
Yeah.
Normally.
Lightning beer, and it is as fast as you expect it to be. You hit the button, the light goes off, and the beer comes out before you can even come close to the machine. We've had fun with that in the past when it accepted regular Bitcoin. I believe it was this guy's birthday.
Oh yeah.
When anyone around the world could just make the beer machine spit out a beer at any time, and if they did that, he had to drink it.
Yeah, I just put the QR code on the screenshot. That's a cool thing about Bitcoin.
Yeah. So we've had fun with our little time. We got some other stuff like funny stuff. We got a VR machine that's very, very broken in so many ways. So yeah, I will. I'll fix it 4 times.
Anyway, I guess that's a space.
So that's the space, and here we go with blockchain.
Yeah, so this is a thing we're gonna do, like you said, probably once a month. Blockchain-based video games are really taking off right now, and I've been tracking them for a while. I've been tracking blockchain games for a while, and what I noticed early on that we're trying to apply blockchain, all over the place, and the typical issue at the end of the day is one of course a blockchain is a virtual set of rules, essentially, right? If you put your home on the blockchain, or steal some inheritance on the blockchain, and when you call the police, say, "Help, my car's been stolen," they'll ask you for ownership. Tell them it's on the blockchain and probably, right? In a video video game world, it's trivial to hard code the digital world to respect blockchain. And so for this reason, virtual world is going to take much faster. And so that was the thing I thought pretty early on. I wrote about for Bitcoin Magazine when I used to work there. I was trying some early ones. It wasn't until lately with CryptoKitties that it really started to blossom attention. The game we're going to talk about today is Spells of Genesis. And this blockchain game is a bit historical in the timeline of blockchain gaming. Spells of Genesis was the first blockchain game in the App Store on Android and iOS. And one thing for the purpose of this meetup, I encourage you guys to install it. I'm going to go, it's free to install. Try it. And you can even win counterparty tokens. Because the way this game works is different games will have a different set of use cases or ideas for how to use the blockchain. There's this concept we've come up with called true ownership, wherein they place the game items on the blockchain. In the case of Spells of Genesis, this is a card game we're going to be looking at. So each trading card is a counterparty token on the blockchain. And they call this true ownership because of the implications of that. The CEO is busy. I don't know, probably can't Q&A him today, but what he'll tell you is that when your items are tracked on the server, you don't really truly, for example, I used to be a WoW player. I cannot just sell my account. There are restrictions in place. There's a question, and technically you don't own anything that you think characters on license places. And there's other issues like, suppose rogue employee cards. In Spells of Genesis, that's possible. Cards from Bitcoin blockchain I could go to their office and burn it down, take their server out the window, you would still have your cards. Exactly the kind of thing. Just for a point, I don't know. But you see the idea we're getting at here. These are yours. Freely trade them, they're tied to your private key, public key pair. So it gets really interesting. And like I said, this was one of the first games. So we chose to talk about this one first because it's already fairly fully developed on the App Store. Have any of you guys downloaded it in this recent term? In the process. Okay. Get on our Wi-Fi.
It's probably doing the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, get on our Wi-Fi. It's fast.
Nice to hear you. It's fast.
Didn't work.
He said,
It should be working. Doge star, Doge dollar sign.
which screen?
You got it. It should work. Just type it again. It'll be better for your data. But this game is free to play, and it was trend-setting in a couple ways. One was the true ownership idea I just mentioned to you, and another thing that they kind of kicked off with that was the idea of cross-pollination. So the idea is, since your items are stored on a blockchain, not that company's server, it's really easy for that item to be transported and used in other things. And there's a whole circle of community around Spells of Genesis and cross-pollinating items. There's a lot of different groups trying to be blockchain game. Spells of Genesis is one. But like I said, we can show it to you. I might have to do this movie theater style. Like if I'm going to have people on the live stream see it. But anyone watching can download this game too. It's free to download. Walk right through it. I wanted him to, but he had the stupid track phone.
Try anyway.
It'll give you a little tutorial. One thing I'm going to have to tell you about. This game is, you may notice it yourself if you're a student watching through the story of the game and how it proves things. They want this to be a completely crypto game. But Apple doesn't. Apple only allows 5 or 6 cryptocurrencies. And any game or any app that uses anything other than those 6 is they can't use their token inside without being able to store use the Apple dots. It's really frustrating. In fact, we've had issues with that with other games. War Riders was on Coinbase, Apple clamped down. So, but you'll see they play careful line. So they, like most, I mean, have any of you guys played one of those free-to-play / play-to-play browse mobile games? They all have like a jammer that you could get to like boost your level or
Usually more than one.
Yeah. They wanted that to be bigger towards the crypto. That was forbidden by Apple. So they're coming up with ad hocs. They have gold and gems. But you still need their crypto crystals by the cards on first release. It's like Magic, Gathering, or Yu-Gi-Oh, or whatever. The cards are released, and that's their entry point to the market. Once released, they trade through. So it's very interesting. Another app. I forgot to tell you guys this. There's an app called Hook. See the button there?
I gave him the earlier.
It's another app called Book of Orbs. Book of Orbs connects to the Skeleton Genesis app, and other people are planning new games. Essentially, the Book of Orbs is a phone app, which is where you store game assets. Other people are competing, entering coins, trying to make their own as well. But all the games out right now are using Book of Orbs. So I'm on that, and when you get on there, Book of Orbs, it's like I said, every item is on the blockchain, right? So you're going to have, just like a wallet would, you have a public-private key pair. If Book of Orbs is not running at the same time as Skeleton Genesis, you can't load your external cards from other games to the blockchain and stuff. So you need.
This is happening that I only
What?
how do you spell the fences? Yeah, we have to have.
Spells of Genesis.
Spells.
Spells of Genesis. Spells of Genesis. Yeah. Are you in Apple or?
It should be on Apple. Geez, they've been obeying Apple rules.
I just downloaded it. I'm playing radio. Yeah, I just downloaded it.
Are you on Apple or Android?
I'm on Apple.
Okay, I thought it was on Android.
So it probably gave you a little tutorial thing.
This was good fun. I think,
He'll help you. No interrupting.
Probably gave you a little tutorial thing. Have you entered the first level yet? The theme song.
Yeah, for the record, the audio is super garbage.
Really?
You're somewhat make outable, but like fuzzy as possible.
That's their theme song.
It's a theme song. It's pretty bumping.
Alright, that's not bad.
I had it up for those.
So this game is strategy arcade hybrid. You see that if you're playing it, right? They wanted to have a card game wherein your cards have different powers, strengths, and weaknesses. But they didn't want it to be for strategy. So instead, each card shoots a little order thing, and it will bounce off the walls, and there they contribute to the arcade elements. So you're trying to kill the other guys. Each one of the other guys in that map is another card to acquire. This is the cool thing about this game. It's been updating. I'd say there's a new update every 2 months or so. And I've been pretty happy with that because sometimes people ICO here, update. But these guys are trying to do their partner soft. They're also partnered with Channel 5. Okay. So they're kind of a little more professional than some other blockchain projects out there. A lot more. Yeah. And let's check this out. I have pretty good cards. Let's see if this works. This is horrible. No one can see this.
Just so you know, we have 0 viewers at that audio quality.
All right.
It's almost like we're stopping, but
But I have one card in here So you're going to start out with some shit cards, right? And the cards you start out with are not. You have to level up your card a couple times. The final level is it gets blockchainized, where it generates counterparty tokens. Now it's yours. Trade it to or from games, other games. Yeah, it's too bad we couldn't get my phone showing up on the monitor. But one card I have here, Sarutobi. Has anyone heard of Sarutobi? Sarutobi is the other one of the first blockchains. Actually, you can download that too. Look at the Sarutobi app. It's got a little swinging monkey. He's you're trying to grab coins, and but it's using counterparty. Actually, Sarutobi 2 is coming out fairly soon. It's going to be like, kind of reminds me of Dragon.
Okay, so you got actually, yeah,
Saru, S-A-R-U-T-O-B-I.
there's
Yeah.
the island.
Who's coming out? Where he flew too far and exited the island. But anyway, I got the Sarutobi token in the Sarutobi game. Actually, the way I got it was just harassing. I was like, please, can I have one? Please. And you know what he did? There's an app that connects counterparty tokens to geolocation. So you can drop a token to a world somewhere. So this man, he was like, yeah, I'll give you one, but you have to run and go get it. Go. It's dropped. So I had to run to the Surrey library, dropped it, pick it up, collect it, and then run home. I was like, Sarutobi token. It's all right. It's got a speed of 3, power 7, and stuff. But it works. It's Delta Genesis. It's kind of neat, right? It's definitely more powerful than the cards you're starting out with. Plus one. So if you would have this already, like that. Any of you actually tried gameplay at all yet?
I've killed a couple little duty things.
What do you think?
Dude, it's not even at all what I expected.
What did you expect?
A card game where two people play cards against each other.
It is turn-based, but I mean, and the different cards do have different, all unique abilities and attacks and
Can
strengths.
we fight each other?
The multiplayer isn't head-to-head yet.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Like I said, they've been doing pretty gradual updates. I don't want to be speaking for it. I think we're going to try to do that.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. You got to beat someone.
And when I saw the first version of this game early on, it made much worse. Like, one thing I like, you can't see this, because once you beat the boss of the game, it unlocks monthly, kind of like, does anyone play World of Warcraft? Right.
Obviously. Scarab Lord.
Alright. Like, so, at the high levels of World of Warcraft, you can't level up anymore, but we don't want these guys to be like, oh, we're talking about another play. So they provide late game content, right? Or like monthly achievements they can get that kind of rotates once in a while, such that the top level guys still have some. Bells of Genesis has already done that too. Every month, a monthly mission comes out. At the top of the, like if you started to see a map, traverse the map, gradually go. The one past the boss of the game is monthly new content. So that gives me something to do, like, because I got pretty bored a while ago, because I already came. So once a month, there's a little thing to come back to. Yeah, it's a cool idea. And basically just first, like I said, I don't think there's any other games besides this that we put out in the App Store yet. Although next month we're shooting Fox and blockchain. That would be fun. But yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, for me, I was literally thinking of a game in Decentraland a lot lately. And I literally thought of a game that was like very similar to this. And I was like, the Decentraland environment. Now I just feel like I'm ripping them off.
Well, they did it years ago.
Yeah, exactly. I really thought this was a card game that was more 1v1. I thought that was the full basis. So And I learned that as one of the hosts.
I think when they are, I would say arcade style is what I would call the element signatures. Call that. But that's taken some of the multiplayer focus, added focus, which obviously in a game like Magic the Gathering, it's made up. It's Magic the Gathering stuff. But you have to understand, multiplayer in a blockchain environment is quite complicated. They probably want to do all kinds of things that track the winner and loser of the blockchain. And there's currently a state of debate of a single Bitcoin period. So there's a lot of things like that that they probably want to do eventually. Like using cryptocurrency blocks, creating blockchain just for its existence. So yeah, and there's also real-time transaction issues. There's all kinds of ways you can game a multiplayer system. But yeah, other than that, it's similar to a lot of mobile games you've seen. It has its energy equivalent, where you can't do much more stuff a day, so much. And if you want to, pay it. And every mobile game does that. So I'd say that's pretty standard. And I've been thinking, I wrote a review of this game early on, when I'd seen that before, but my overarching impression is I really like the concept they've generated here with true ownership, but it really seems like Apple's that in terms of token economics and what they're about. And that's really frustrating. But I can't blame them for that because every blockchain is suffering that. So if you're mad at them because of that restriction, then you have no alternative. Or you could forgo use of the App Store.
I think most blockchain users have like the choice between like, do we build what we want to build, or do we build what Apple will let us build? And it shouldn't even be a debate from like a blockchain perspective. Like it's like a disruptive technology where you're like, but now we have to play by Apple's rules and only use the tokens they allow.
Yeah. There's other things. Android's a bit less strict. So if you guys remember, we talked about War Riders. They're just suffering under Apple's right now too. So War Riders they just did a different thing on Android and iOS.
Oh, really?
Not completely different, because I don't know if there are any game developers here, but obviously you do it at the expense of making a completely different game for Apple and probably not worth it from a business strategy perspective.
Yeah, you either put Apple one on both, or you don't, or you just make the right game on Android.
I think some were starting to think like, or what they did was, so Coinbase, you guys know Coinbase. Coinbase is a pretty famous app. It's one of the most censored and old coin apps. So Coinbase, so Apple went to Coinbase and said, you need to get all the blockchain games off your app. They had made a partnership with War Riders, which follows the true ownership concept as well, although they're not affiliated with this game. They just followed the steps of it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that pretty much translates to every blockchain game. Like true ownership is like the base.
Not the 100 coin guys.
Yeah,
There's
that's a
some
much
others.
more complex one.
Yeah.
Like the majority of the games out there just use the concept of true ownership. The ones that do try and do more on-chain stuff, people just run out of money for the transaction fees. There's a lot of like in Ethereum, for example, a gaming transaction is a lot bigger than sending just some coin to your friend. Like that's a small transaction, but when you're like sending your like ERC 721 robot, which is made up of 4 tokens, to the contract, and then so is the other guy, and then you're sending a second transaction to reveal the attack moves you made, and then all the tokens get written and changed with experience gains, and then sent back to you.
Basically,
you're just destroying your user base. Like,
yeah.
So on chain, it's just getting killed by scaling right now.
Ethereum has to incur costs with each calculation, and games make lots of money, especially if there's an AI player. That would be crazy. How untenable. There are some people trying to tackle that in AI and blockchain. Actually, I advise a product like that. They're not ready. Coin uses its own chain. And I think they're going to try to do that throughout the Primera project. Honestly, I think they might succeed because they have Domov, or I'm just Bitcoin, a big Bitcoin talk nerd, and they're looks back there. But they have a guy with a PhD who knows what he's doing, and their founder Snailbrain's pretty smart. So I think it might work out. It's just really hard. Some people are trying to go fully decentralized. It's on a spectrum in terms of how decentralized you want to make the game. Spells of Genesis is kind of right in the middle. Some like 100 Point are way far end. It's an MMO with no server. And then there's some at the very annoying end.
No.
Well, yeah, no, because they had to remove. Well, at first you would see the story itself, Spells of Genesis, was crypto related, and Apple was like, no. So it's kind of that's what would have been the case, but it's not, because playing the game itself is so much not like that. If you went on their forum and really thought about the game and got so far as the blockchainized cards, that would force you to learn.
Yeah, but overall, like the best way to learn, like if you're like super new and just learning with Bitcoin, we also host intro to Bitcoin, intro to Ethereum, intro to decentralization, and intro to cryptocurrency. Here, like at least one of those or two of those runs every month, and there are people who've been teaching their own specific self-made curriculum for like years now. Most of those meetups have like years old curriculum that's built on by the teacher. And we have a lot of really experienced teachers here, just nerds about it, turn themselves into teachers, don't want to ever shout about it. Yeah, so it's some of us that try to do more gaming stuff and fun different meetups, but there's a lot of meetups for you in person that will get you caught up. And there's a lot.
Yeah, playing a more advanced game like 100 Point kind of teaches you a bit, because all of your moves are transactions and it's turn based. Your turn occurs when the transactions confirmed. So playing the game strategically forces you, like, when is my guy going to move square? That will happen.
Yeah, you'll come with more info from through the game, and then honestly, blockchain games have not developed to the point of like being like also learning tools. I would say they're not user friendly enough. Like if you're an owner of Ethereum, then you could like a lot of some of the Ethereum wallets have like built-in ways to try the games, but there's like not much depth in any of these, and you'll just end up wasting your money. Like I would say, Spells of Genesis games like this, they're actually giving you your stuff. Yeah, that are actually giving you your stuff, like, and mostly an off-chain game, like over on the
also
Apple, and then
clearly not trying to milk bad generated by that they were there first. Now, a lot of games, like as soon as CryptoKitties took off, they're like, I want billions of dollars too. I have crypto doggies, and they all try to get on that.
Yeah, there's crypto cuties, crypto dragons,
it's everything.
Yeah, and a lot of it's really just the same thing over and over again. And
NBA developers.
Yeah, no one's trying to make anything new. Well, they are trying to make new stuff, but in general, like the easy road is just yeah, I call it an IJO, an initial JPEG offering. That's when you buy some games. You buy items for a game that doesn't exist yet. I've participated in many IJOs. They're not a way to profit. They are a way to hopefully play a game with my
Some people have those CryptoKitties sets and ballers make profit.
Oh yeah, I flipped a digital Lambo the other day. Hell yeah.
No,
I didn't sell it. I bought it and the price went up and I'm still holding it. I'm going to redeem it for another game token in a different game later. Same idea where you can spend for. Yeah, I picked up that Lambo.
So, okay, so I've had actually CryptoKitties in my collection. We have two non-fungible tokens that we can put together to create a third one.
A third one, yeah.
Is
Yes.
there something like that in Spells of Genesis?
No. And that is, in terms of we're going to compare and contrast Spells of Genesis. Spells of Genesis is way more advanced on the gameplay side of things. As a game, it's on the store, it has stuff. CryptoKitties isn't really play per se. No, it's. But one thing that it has going for it that I think others learn from is the breeding part you mentioned. Because breeding implies something's biological or organic. As soon as they breed, people felt that it was more alive. And I think just just that itself made people psychologically valued. You know, if they can breathe, surely they're kind of, you know, on the blockchain. And that kicked in sense. It's like a step above human babies. My mom used to be straight. So you remember those? But they don't breathe. They're not alive or don't feel as alive. Blockchain allows that. Really organic worlds. Spells of Genesis, like I said, on the spectrum, somewhere in the middle. Where blockchain games, though fully decentralized, become really organic. The analogy I always use is the WoW episode itself. That happened in the blockchain. Where Hunter Coin, you guys watch something?
Which I don't know the WoW episode. I'm changing myself.
That's the one where one guy gets too powerful and he takes over the World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I thought you meant like wow.
No, wow. Where they all have to band, so they all have
That's the greatest.
they have to band together and try to compete and by the rules of the game because he kills the mobs and slaves that things. That happened to Hunter Coin. Because Hunter Coin is decentralized, and one guy got too good at the game. He had an army of bots.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
His nickname was the Dom. And he took over the world of Hunter Coin. He placed his hunters at strategic choke points on the map and dominated. New Hunter coins were dropped on the map quite over. So he took control of the coin supply, which at the time was about 10 grand a day. And then he just took control of like, yeah, come on, folks. So what happened was everyone in the game banded together and tried to and they lost.
Yeah.
Not like in World of Warcraft at all, where they had the sword of 1,000 truths.
Yeah, they win at the end.
Yeah, that's not what happened. They had to fork the game to adjust the gameplay, to adjust choke points, so he couldn't do that again.
But this is sounding like a
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Just a gaming version of one.
That game was very experimental, turn-based. Gameplay isn't as quality as Spells of Genesis, but if you're asking like of the long-term consequences, direction we're going in, that's a good story to tell for that.
Speaking of forks, could there be a Texas hard fork? I like create a fork that spells of Genesis. Or it spells of Deuteronomy.
I think Spells of Genesis, too much of the game is off-chain. Or
Yeah, too much of the game is
too much of the game is off-chain.
like I was able to play a bunch, and I have no counter wallet, I have no cards, I was able to do the intro, and like as you were saying, like after you progress stuff in the game, the way they do it is like, okay, now you've earned the ability to blockchainize your card. And then it becomes tradable, right? So in this one, most of the stuff that comes out right now is just like you're just straight paying for the token.
Well, that's kind of fun here. It works for the token.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Whereas
killed a bunch of monsters and earned it. You know, and that's kind of fun.
no, yeah, that's definitely a better system.
And sure, Toby, when I had to run to a library, a random card, I earned it. You know, in terms of not buying your way into a game, I would say Spells of Genesis is a bit better than a lot of blockchains. In fact, all of my blockchain cards, I've not paid for a single one. I got all of them by playing the game well and blockchainizing, except for the one I ran in the library. But all of them, I just did actions, played worked for it. That made me feel good about like all these cards here.
So you mentioned there was a cooldown on the daily activity. Is it one of like so you can't just spam all day?
Yeah, that's typical.
Yeah, no, that's
games have action points or something.
What's the cooldown period like?
Like each little energy point, got a little like thing is 10 minutes.
Okay, and how many does it go?
As you level up, your maximum amount of sword goes up.
Yeah, because I'm one of those guys who feels obligated to settle on for the middle of the night. Like,
But now that my energy level is really high, I can get through the night before it goes.
It's always a rough time when you start a new game and you're like,
It's not like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So far, I'm more of the side.
He's got an EOS wallet now.
Yeah. Dylan, don't hit me. I'm more of the other. Like, I'm basically like I'm on a mission to play the ball and lose all my crypto just playing blockchain games. My tagline is I've spent more Ether on transaction fees than
Did you try the EOS site?
Yeah, I finally got an EOS wallet going. It was a pain in the ass. And I actually got to generate my own private keys, which was the thing for a while. You couldn't do that. So,
game though.
well, it's just as bad as any other early blockchain game. I mean, I guess it's a different network, so it's a lot like there's. Oh yeah, significantly, yeah. There's no transaction fees, It's like, I don't know how I learned it at first, but from my understanding of using it, you basically just, you use your RAM or something, so you just use like RAM and CPU and you just stake your EOS, like stake bullshit. And if you stake enough, you can just use the network unlimitedly. If you don't stake enough, then like you gotta stop playing or doing whatever you're doing. So I think I have like 4 or 5 EOS staked now, because every time it would cut me off, I was like, take more EOS. Take more, like I can't play. And I didn't know how it worked. I'm still trying to learn. But yeah, basically it comes down to like, it's a terrible game. But I say that about most blockchain games. That's not me dissing on EOS Knights or anything. Like it's just not much to it. Like it uses some concepts of an idle game. So one of the ways blockchain games went is idle gaming. So what they do is from a chain perspective, you can just look back to when something happened before. So from a screen display perspective of the user, you're seeing like your guy has you gotta click to like use your move, and your move gets more powerful over time. You're just seeing a power meter go up until it hits max. And the reality is in the blockchain, when you do that transaction, it's saying like, okay, well, since the last transaction that he wasted all his energy was this long ago, he must have this much power or use it. So like they kind of like will obfuscate what's happening and like
EOS Knights like idle gaming style.
So EOS Knights, how it works is you basically you can buy up to 3 dudes. You just have to buy 3. And they cost like 0.1, 0.2, 0.4. And then, yeah, but it's EOS, so it's really cheap. And then you set them in the dungeon, and they go until they die. And then when you rebirth, them, you get the items of the dungeon, and they start again.
It's kind of idle-ish.
Yeah, so basically you just have to be there once every time you guys die.
What do you guys think of idle gaming? That's like lately, I've seen too many of those. Really exploding.
It's because blockchain limits what you can do, and someone found out idle gaming seems to work.
Not just in blockchain terms, the whole gaming industry is really exploded.
I don't pay attention to any non-blockchain games.
I think that's good. I think they're the ones where it's like you'll have a character and they'll level up with the passage of real time. Or if you quit playing, or it could be hybrid where you level up by slaying monsters, but if you have to go to work, doing it at a certain rate lower than you probably could yourself over time. So it's idle in that it's still active.
It's like leaving your mining guys in StarCraft. You're still bringing your resources when you walk away. When you come back, now you have more to use.
Except Zerglings won't come. It'll be fun. But yeah, and I think it takes off because people are busy. So it can be like, I have kids, but I still want to play games. So while you're dealing with shit, you're still kind of playing games and log on. Be like, oh, I leveled up. And it's also a monetary thing. Like when I had less money, I would play more browser games. Free there.
Yeah, like Ethereum is unplayable at over 2 way. Like between 2 and 3 is like the spot where, because the way it works, it multiplies. Like the amount of gas you spend, like it goes up real fast in gaming, and then whatever way you choose, it multiplies that by the gas number. So when you go from like 1 to 2, 3 to 4, like all of a sudden it's like, you can afford that sub 1 way gaming, but like when you're paying like 4 times per transaction, and that's why the idle stuff comes in. Like, hey, we gotta people have their resources built and we'll just transact to use them. They try and make enough stuff off chain as possible. Like a lot of stuff is still trying to figure out the balance, still trying to figure out the scaling. Like other options like side chains on Ethereum, EOS is fast as hell, but it's EOS.
It's like console wars.
It's like console wars, yeah.
With blockchains.
Of the blockchain.
Like Nintendo versus Sony, like Ether versus Counterparty.
Yeah. And that's shout out to my mom who was wrong when I said one day Sonic and Mario will be in games together.
That already happened.
I know, but I was like a child when I said this.
Anyway, yeah. I think that's pretty much all we can take off blockchain. Right?
Yeah.
The next month, we're gonna have Pogs. You've seen flying in here. You put them on Ethereum Classic though, so that's gonna be interesting discussion.
Way cheaper.
Well, we'll just see that.
Way cheaper to transact with.
If anyone has any final questions for the broadcast off.
Or about random blockchain gaming.
No, I earned them. I won them. It's not easy to win them. You can't win them easily. To start blockchainizing cards, you have to get kind of far through the game, such that may also have other things. There's a certain amount of people in blockchain. And
Oh, like
it's
there's
a
a
more
limited-
rare card, the number is lower.
So whoever gets to it first.
Yeah.
So you can pay money to get there faster, right? Like to increase your ability to play constantly.
I guess you could do that,
So there's still other runs.
but I've never done that. I have one of the best card collections, but I got in like really early, so that was my advantage.
Yeah, the only time I did look at this post Genesis, why I thought it was a card game, is because I went to try to buy some cards. From like a website. I was like, hey, blockchain game, gotta get some cards. Okay, how much does it cost me? But I didn't even start by downloading.
Curious, but the one that Satoshi card trades for thousands of dollars. It's their rarest card. It's kind of like their Black Lotus. If you're a Magic the Gathering person. It's their Black Lotus. It's I don't have one. There's like 10 of them, I think. And it'll be really interesting. Maybe if your game continues years from now, Satoshi card, everyone will be like, wow.
Is there a Doge card?
I don't think so. No, I don't think there is. Sorry. There
Alright.
is a Jackson Palmer card. He found a Doge card.
That betrayed us all.
They also made They made a Vitalik card. They made cards out of Pullman space. Some of them paid him to do that. So you're like,
Yeah.
Satoshi card?
That's what he was saying. Yeah, we can call it Sato.
Oh, sorry.
He
I
says
was
it wrong.
pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah, he says it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question for the group. Is anyone actually, what blockchain games have people try? Or did y'all just show up for a blockchain game meetup?
Yeah, the only thing I thought of as blockchain was blockchain. Is this the only thing I really think of?
Yeah.
So everything else is kind of news to me. The examples you showed, it only seems to be scratching the surface.
Yeah, we're just
It's
starting.
really new.
We should do decentralized meetup if they ever launched. Like,
We're doing the
I
podcast.
feel like-
Yeah.
I feel like
that's
I feel like almost there's way more possibilities. Maybe as you said, maybe Apple's kind of
Yeah, it's a burden.
Well, what it comes down to with possibilities, though, is the development path and like where the funding comes from, where the profit model is. Because all these possibilities are generally like, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if this existed? But a lot of times to get there, like, and the people getting us there are like, well, we could just charge more. Like my Lambo like sells for how much? Like, I bought it for a quarter ether, and now it's up to ether. So then they can sold it for more.
So I guess I have three questions for you guys. First question, looks to me as though Apple's really pushing AR.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So and you also mentioned that with one of the games,
Augmenters.
yeah,
Augmenters, blockchain plus VR.
So do you see
VR,
that?
AR, sorry.
Yeah. So do you see blockchain as being a major component in AR? That's my first question.
Specifically, it doesn't. I don't think it matters that much. It's the way blockchain is applied. Like usually, like there are going to be aspects of what happens on chain, like what's on chain, what's off chain. Like so a lot of times the gameplay is going to be off chain, and in the case it could still just be the items in your AR game are on a blockchain, and like everything's in ERC 7.1. So it could still be that this game, this AR game, whatever people end up making, is to play it, you need your token, but it's not a requirement, and it's only if they want to go the route of like your items have to
Well, there are interesting things like they could, and this is complicated, require putting a map in the blockchain. Another point to that, you could, put the geolocation of each thing in the blockchain. Okay. To make it more difficult.
Yeah, you got to
thing.
apply it.
But I think I agree with him that I don't think blockchain is any more or less applicable to AR than it is any other type. Yeah, I think it's applicable.
Let's be honest, it's only so applicable to games.
The only type of gaming that's more affected by blockchain than other types is MMOs. Will be particularly affected.
I feel like card games right now are the ones that everyone's trying to come up with. There's at least 4 or 5 that are in like the late development, and it's all about like card ownership and then the game is fully off chain.
Yeah. Okay. So second question, you mentioned that mobile app stores are kind of a problem.
Yes.
Specifically Apple's.
Okay, so what keeps most blockchain developers from simply using the web as their
Most of them do.
Some do, but Apple controls the really high net worth customers, basically. People who find your app through the app, studies have shown actually that people who find your app through the app store pay way more on average services and stuff.
That makes sense. And a lot of it is the industry trends in general. Like where everyone's moving towards mobile, like in general, like YouTube watch statistics over the years have just changed from like desktop to mobile.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So like just the way gaming's going in general, and that way, and I think it's a lot easier to capture the like I said, because the people are more willing to spend, capture the micropayments market. So people on their computers since the beginning have been used to doing stuff with them. People on their phones since right at the beginning, they were making sure we were transacting. Everyone's used to it, it's been ingrained in us. So like there's a lot more the micropayments market is not really in the
For mobile payments in general, the vast like 90% plus of their revenue comes from a very small percentage of players who aren't obeying the free play, who are totally willing to swipe most credit cards.
or they're just ballers, they don't care.
If you look at it, that's what's happening. Apple has too many kids swiping most credit cards. They're going to pay for these items. I was one years ago. Come on, I know how it is, and that's how it works. They just go to that platform. It's a more expensive phone. So de facto, if you're a teenager and you have an Apple phone, your parents probably
Have more money
to buy you shit.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yes, the Apple Store is where people want to be, but then you have to compromise yourself by removing things from your game and literally following a like central set of rules from like evil, overlord of closed garden technologies. And you were supposed to be open and permissionless on the blockchain.
Yeah, definitely. So, and finally, my third question. So a while ago, about I guess 8 years ago, when Facebook had more of an emphasis on gaming, we saw a lot of.
They tried to have a little token.
Yeah, they did.
Facebook coins.
They definitely did. There was definitely time to go buy yourself a Facebook card and do games.
Oh yeah, okay.
But it looks to me like there's like the pendulum is going to shift from central servers that Facebook has where they collect data and all that back to decentralization. What I definitely think that's where it's going. Do you think there will be a component in which social and in crypto gaming kind of
Fine, social.
well, I mean, I'm not talking about social gaming, I'm talking about social media.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think there are games.
And crypto gaming?
And crypto gaming.
I think there are games who have done a thing. Or there are those. Have you ever played one of those games? It's like a real life game, kind of like where it makes you walk around.
Pokemon Go.
You could do a thing like that. I mean, at the basic level, every mobile game nowadays will give you some bonus shared on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not going as far as what you're going to do.
Yeah, the actual
Well,
integration.
yes, I mentioned like Mastodon recently kind of got some coverage and all that. Aware of Mastodon. Oh, you're not?
What's a mess?
Like the band?
No, Mastodon's a decentralized social network that's kind of similar to Twitter.
Or scenario. There's lots of
Yeah, honestly, there's so many projects these days.
Yeah,
that, I do not keep up.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person who thinks that gaming is usually the place to really push technology.
There's a many that agree.
You could gamify social media things in some regard. Like there are not a lot. There's a class of games that try to, in real life, for game by merging it. Like you could have a game where tweeting a certain thing affects the thing that happens inside the game to your character.
That would be totally independent of any sort of logic.
Yeah,
That's just
that's
a
not.
decision.
It's not.
I'd say the way blockchain distributed ledger technology affects games in general is just it's going to be a case of like opt-in at first, and then it'll just be the standard over time. The same as Bitcoin right now is an opt-in system, but soon it'll be the global standard.
Real ownership by itself is pretty darn.
Yeah, and that's like the first easy application, and like cryptocurrencies gets literally all the credit constantly, but like it was Belgian Genesis who like first did that in the game, as far as I know, and Counterparty, is based on Bitcoin, which has been all these token issuing crap and like whatever, it's always been around, just it wasn't abused to ICO the economy into the ground.
Going back to
Ethereum.
one thing you have to realize about Paradigm Point is you played World of Warcraft. or any MMO, their ultimate concern is taxman believing that their economy is real and therefore taxing. So they play a very careful game here, right? You play World of Warcraft. The reason they've forbidden you from trading your account with other people, and you have to go to ridiculous lengths to facilitate that, is because if they allow you to sell your account, the IRS will say that means these things have real value. Therefore, we're going to tax the game options.
I heard that you can use in-game gold to buy game time now.
If you, that's even pushing it.
Apparently you can.
But they won't go. They're that's still.
Yeah.
But you get the idea. They're concerned in a game like EVE Online, which is even a little further. They have EVE credits, like where you can sell game time for EVE credits. You cannot buy game time with EVE credits. So they tell the IRS it's only one way. That shit's still not real. And the IRS is not clamped down with them on that yet. But you get the idea.
Interesting.
They want to maintain the illusion that their virtual world is devoid of real value, so that they can avoid scrutiny from tax officers and other regulators.
And we're like, look how much my digital Lambo's worth, guys.
Yeah.
You know, like we're bragging about like a card auction, like that. One of the new games just talked about the card that can't even use in tournaments, like a one of a kind, like 100 ether. And that was like 3 weeks ago, so it was like double. Yeah, that was worth a lot of 3 weeks ago.
So you see the conflict. You know, that's not even. I'm interested, like, in how they view it internally, because on the one end, you know, I think Apple's just being kind of annoying, but there's some like Steam who I think are honestly scared of an IRS clampdown. They back this.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Steam,
What are you talking about, IRS?
Because only America matters.
well, you know what I mean.
You live on Earth, you're under the America regime.
Spells of Genesis.
Trump is your
Canada.
Does that affect working?
Well, CryptoKitties is in Canada.
No, but if they're worried about the IRS, your point, okay, then that will change the industry.
Realistically,
Or the SEC.
the IRS comes from Canada all the time. They don't care about ourselves.
Yeah, and then the SEC's got far-reaching arms, you know, like
But
security.
in general, Spells of Genesis. Actually, no, Spells of Genesis is based in Europe, so that's not the IRS here. They're worried about the European people. But sorry, just like inject your synonym for whatever jurisdiction when I use the word IRS, and you get the idea. They are scared, and they're taking it out on watching.
Oh yeah, we're the victims here.
Yeah.
It's very clear.
Anybody in this room is making full-time income from trading?
Blockchain games or
Trading?
games in general?
If they were, I'd tell them not to tell you. That's a terrible decision. Don't answer that question if it's true for you.
I only work in crypto, but I don't only work in blockchain.
Yeah, I think he means trading.
No.
Like trading?
Looking at
Like some of us have jobs in the blockchain industry.
Yeah.
Like at
We're
least a
not
few in the
traders.
room do have like jobs like for companies that work with blockchain stuff. But like, yeah, if you're a full-time trader making full-time trader money, you wouldn't be here right now. You'd
Buy blockchain games.
don't listen to him.
I have a friend, and these guys know my friend too, who started a blockchain company within 7 months and was bought out by a billionaire here down the road.
Nice.
Oh, he barely got bought out?
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
yeah, 7 months after.
Oh, that must have just been recently.
It happened in January.
Oh, okay. But he's
Yeah,
still,
he's
still,
well,
he's
he's
got
still
a new company or something.
He's still doing it, but
Oh, but they bought him out.
Peter Nalgrod came right in and went bam, and now he's loud.
Peter must be the
I guess, any final questions before we end this broadcast?
Yeah.
Background, it's also very much banner.
You like their JPEGs?
They're cute.
Depends on who it is.
Depends on what the license says when they release it.
But I'm just wondering, like, and then the collectibles and some like rare movies as well, which
Oh,
is
those
also
did
like,
they finish? They're sorry.
Yeah.
just in terms of like that's also what you're kind of trading cards.
Yeah, so basically the idea is that you have these things called, so the Spells of Genesis cards are, they're all non-fungible tokens. People call them NFT, like they're not, and then for short we call them Nifty because it sounds cool. And go and trademark that word and all that now. They haven't backed up yet. We're fighting them in emails and stuff.
Well, the judge accepted.
We're taking the good cop, bad cop approach. I guess we good cop.
Some
Bad cop
judges
on that.
wouldn't accept that. It really
Yeah.
depends on what judge.
Well, the reality is, like, so you got those are NFTs. When I would say the term ERC 721 a couple times, that is a non-fungible token. So that's like your crypto kitty. It's really just a string of, a string of text of numbers, letters.
Your average BC judge would most like get copyright that.
Trademark.
That.
Yeah. 50. But yeah, so you basically you have your tokens, and then that kind of concept is transferred all around. So in this case, this is built on Spelled Genesis is built on Counterparty, which is built on Block, which is built on Bitcoin.
And
Right.
it's partially because it is one of the oldest. ERC-20 kicked into fad mode after Spelled.
This game has been out since before Ethereum was around, I believe, or very
Definitely
close.
since before ERC-20 was standardized.
Yeah. So then the ERC-20 is like every token, and then 721 is for the new. And CryptoKitties gets a lot of credit for like the non-fungible, but the whole Counterparty like selling point when they first made it, and they did the best distribution model ever, by the way. And so the whole Counterparty thing when they first made it was like you're going to be able to issue your own tokens. That's going to be cool. They can be game assets. They can be stock in your company. And for the record, the Counterparty distribution method that I was in love with is called Burn.
Oh yeah.
They have a fake address, and you send your Bitcoin there, and they see what's in
It's
there,
not
and they
fake.
send your. Well, they send not fake address, it's unrecoverable
It's
address.
one no one has the practice.
Yeah, like it's impossible to have the address, and they just basically make people burn Bitcoin. And if you burned Bitcoin, then they could tell you send it there. So they just send that new address your Counterparty.
Basically, the Counterparty guys are kind of more like old school.
They've got that.
Philosophical about their beliefs.
So all these people who are building ICOs, just remember when Counterparty, when the first protocols was built, they literally instead of taking the money, dumpster fired it. And that's what they said basically gave its value. It said, no, this much money was used to create this much tokens, but we don't get that much money. The money is now in the tokens concept.
I don't see them as at war though.
No, totally different.
What I think the Book of Orbs and Engine and then plan to try to incorporate both Counterparty and ERC.
Oh, really?
Right
Engine
now,
is still over now.
Yeah, right now all of them do one or the other. So there are some block like Book of Orbs is a blockchain game wallet. It's on Counterparty. So your Ethereum game tokens can't go to Orbs. And that's the same, all the Ethereum gaming wallets, no Counterparty. They're trying to work on a bridge there to integrate both in one wallet. There's already an Ethereum Bitcoin bridge. There's a
The Doge Ethereum bridge. Yeah,
They
dude,
can
we're
already do
way
that.
more motivated than some people.
I'm sure
And
that's,
Bitcoin don't care about Ethereum. Don't get along all the time.
but I see a point. I think it's going to be a very integrated type of thing. They're going to try to maybe have tokens on both chains and make the chains see each other such that transfer on one is reflected on the other.
Yeah, one of the things Engine Coin that you bring up, like, so they're trying to do something even more different. A lot of companies are hopping on with them. They did their own token. I think the ICOs.
They did. They raised a lot of
They
money.
raised a lot. They're still distributing. You Engine Coin giveaway next time. I got some vouchers.
Really?
Yeah. Where do
Well, the
people
Pogs
ICO?
side is Pogs.
Where?
Where do people ICO?
From Estonia after getting pieces. $40.
$40.
Or Malta. Apparently. Malta's the one to go to.
You can do it here if you talk to us.
Yeah. How is your ICO going?
It takes a while.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
It's a slow process.
It's a slow process.
Well, no, it's also remembering.
It's a long-term process, right? Yeah. Whereas these other ones, the ones that did really good, screw up randomly, like without waiting. And some of them are going to go to jail.
I pick my jurisdictions. So, like my other coin that's here in DC is an education coin. So in that scenario, I kind of am forced to consider regulators because the education system is public funded and highly certified. Schools can use accreditation to gain that. In the gaming world, I kind of a gaming coin you should face Malta, Gibraltar, tiniest island, and you'll know where you want.
Just stay anonymous.
Yeah, that's
If you're launching a game, just stay anonymous. So you have to deal with
like someone could conceivably interfere with my education part of the school. I'm not going to invade Central Land. That sounds silly. They won't bother. You know what I mean?
all of us all on IPFS. Yeah, I almost bought one just to try. You can get like access to some online services. I don't know if you can do banking or not, but like some sort of like.
But I bet you can't vote.
No, you definitely can't vote. Yeah, otherwise you want to tax that.
All right, any specifically SOT questions left?
Yeah, let's do any
We're
social
in this
justice questions before we hit this. We just talk blockchain gaming.
Any?
What is the work?
What?
The work.
The workflow?
Yes, is go to the course. Or you can
That's one option, or you can earn them through games. So when I tried to play, I went straight to a market. I didn't even think about maybe buying them in game or that it was an app. I just assumed I would play in browser. So I went to buy cards, whereas he earned all his cards by playing a lot and then upgrading. Yeah, you could put the card back to the market as soon as you blockchain it.
I can check how much my cards are.
Yeah, so technically there is some speculation. Blockchain games are the worst thing to speculate on. Yeah, like they are. They are the worst thing to speculate on. Like,
Some people would say, sorry.
yeah,
I don't have to pronounce it. They've made a lot of profits.
yeah, and there's going to be examples all across the board where like one cat sells for way too much, like $10,000 worth of ether at today's prices for $100,000 when it happens. Sorry, I keep saying big ether. I use it more than anything.
In general, games like Spells of Genesis will allow you to earn your assets. If you want to buy them, generally yes, acquire Bitcoin. But then there's a secondary step. Because the way they make their coins valuable is that you can only get those items. They're only sold by them. So for Spells of Genesis, that coin is big crystals. So you
So
get
that's like big
Bitcoin,
crystals. Okay, yeah.
change Bitcoin, big crystals, buy your cards.
I don't have to go through counterparty, or I could go through if I wanted to and buy them on a centralized exchange.
You could. In fact, I did that by Nerd.
Yeah,
So you don't have
but you don't have to. You can just get straight big crystals.
not in that, no. In the Book of Words app, you can buy cards from other people that are actually best. Currently, you'll see if there's prices and stuff in there. Market's not really well developed yet, so the prices vary a lot.
Yeah, like day, like
It's very thin.
they'll be in a rush to buy blockchain. I assume they will be worth less tomorrow. And like buy worth less later. It's the worst speculation. But we're also used to speculating, right? Like what we do.
But yeah, you know that's kind of here. You don't want to throw all your money in the blockchain games yet. It's first one you show try it out like that. But it'll take you a week or so to more, probably more than a week, far enough to really see the blockchain content.
Oh, okay, that's interesting approach.
Otherwise, it would be. She brought this point up earlier. She was like, "How can they sustain their game economy? They just keep doing that, right? They can't. That's true. If cards were too freely given away, you're earning them. It's too easy to earn them, destroy their value, and ruin their game economy.
Why would the box take over? Not valuable enough for them, but
They're centralized. So they have methods of anti-bots.
Oh, okay.
That was Firefox's problem.
Yeah.
It's a really decentralized game. They had no anti-bot protection. Spells of Genesis would try to catch you a bot, and
Yeah, so that's the other thing. Like a real decentralized game doesn't really exist yet, except for like the game theory gambling ones. Like, the only real games that exist in a decentralized form are the gambling. You can do provably fair gambling, where we know for a fact that the house isn't cheating, and
did
you
you
know
see
for
the
a
one
fact.
where I did rock paper scissors?
Yeah, I've seen a couple rock paper scissors versions. We're doing a bit of a sleep camp that goes on Monday, and my suggestion as a group activity was everyone build their own rock paper scissors game, and then we see how we all came to that conclusion. Right, because everyone's going to build it a little bit different. So I thought that was a good next time. I didn't do that.
All right, any more SOG questions?
SOG on one.
Cards and
The cards, once you level them up. So at the beginning, you have a couple cards, and they're just playing or whatever. Those are unlocked. Once you get to like, let's make up a number, level 10. Once your card gets to a certain power, then you can blockchainize it. So then you basically can set it, like put in your address, I assume, and like this is now my card, I have ownership. Then once your address is connected to your thing, you can technically buy cards from an online market and put them in your wallet, which would then be on
well, your app is connected. Your app has to be connected to the internet. blockchain exists
Everywhere.
So for this to work, you have to this is one of those games where it stops working if you don't have that.
Oh, okay. I was unaware.
Or
That
actually,
makes sense.
it won't stop completely. All of your
Progress.
blockchain cards.
Oh,
your
will disappear.
progress is the same, but all your counterparty cards, all of a sudden I won't have my server food card, right? Because it's tracked with blockchain. Cards that aren't blockchain cards.
Failure?
Thank you very much.
Okay, make sure to come to one of the intro meetups.
Oh, well,
Yeah, come to one of the introductory meetups. The intro to Bitcoin probably is the best one for you. And there'll be more about environment, chat about that. Yeah. Just check our meetup page on Control Van, ECTRL, or his name. Yeah, for sure. I'll see you soon. Welcome to the learning adventures. It's a big rabbit hole, dude. You're gonna have to go away. Well, I'll sure you get something.
Any more questions?
SOG only though. Because then we
Yeah.
turn off, we can talk about whatever we want.
We want to talk about other games next month.
I'm sorry for anyone who ever watches in the future and might make it this far. The audio is so bad.
We'll make it better next time.
Yeah, we need a bring it back. All right, this first broadcast over. Bye, internet.
Thank you guys.